Does anybody here have a particular marketing issue or concern you would like to discuss? Go ahead. Don't be shy.
All these beautiful things you're talking about, once you have a concept, once you have the strategy, once you have the market, you need to expose it. You need advertising. So without advertising, I don't see how this fantastic marketing idea goes out to the public. So how we can achieve that with a small budget?
That's a very good point. So when you have a small budget,
Yes.
how do you get your message out when you don't have a lot of advertising funds?
That's it.
Anybody have any suggestions?
Maybe.
So what was that?
Social media is very cheap.
Yeah.
Very cheap and very powerful.
I
That's the first thing.
Social media.
Social
Very
media.
powerful and very cheap. That's the first one.
All right. Anybody else? Give me a product. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Celebrity support.
But that's costing. That's costing to hire.
Well, let's talk about what can be done. What is the product category?
I have nutritional supplements and cosmetics line.
You have
I have
nutrition
nutritional
supplements.
supplements and cosmetic lines. The concept is beauty within, nutrition within through health, beauty. So the concept is very clear and clear. Target what?
Is it a multi-level marketing?
No, not yet. But it's very hard to get on.
All right. One of the things when you don't have big budgets, understand a couple of things. Advertising creates awareness. Public relations creates credibility. Promotion creates movement. And what you have to look at is what can you do now? If nutrition is a point, one of the things is creating content and a blog
We do that.
full of information of value. Second is doing articles and giving speeches out among that. Third is you can look at building a referral business by rewarding people, for referrals. There are a whole range of things that you can do, but it has to be part of an integrated plan to achieve it. All right. You also look at, are there things that people or businesses you can joint venture with? They're not in the same business you're in, but there is some way that you can be mutually beneficial with them. For example, one of the things in the world of nutrition is the area of gyms, health clubs, things where they can become outlets for you, distributors, they can do that. So again, I'm giving you a cursory overview because there are a lot of ways it can do. Now, what's the biggest challenge you're facing?
The biggest challenge is although I've been distributing national and we launched the company international now, you really need the money to put out there. We have full video, YouTube videos. We have a lot of wonderful marketing done, very targeted, very specific. But you need to be out there to really launch to different channels. It's not so simple. For example, fitness center, they come to me. We are awarded for our 21-day detox program. We are number 2 or 3 Google outlets. But we have 1 million, how many millions? I don't know, 2 millions of sites which compete with what we're doing. So it's extremely challenging to make a mark.
All right.
The stores
Just to
are
give you
eating up
another-
80% of everything I sell to them.
What I look at, whatever business it is that we're looking at, is I look at what is everyone doing that's the same, as I mentioned earlier, and I try to identify what is not being done. It's like a project that I'm working on right now, targeting a market demographic segment that is 100 million people. I looked at this market from one purpose, and as I researched it more and more, I found lots of untapped opportunities sitting there because people were being mimics, replicating what other people were doing just simply doing the same thing that everyone else is doing.
But now marketing, and instead in order to be remarked, the fact that you do once, twice, 3 times, even advertising, people don't remember. It's 7 times according to the statistics. You have to really project your product, service.
Well, she hits a good point. What happens if your advertising, your marketing, your promotion activities are not standing out? That is what you sit down and you look at, okay, what niche am I missing? What niche can I tie into? For example, somebody mentioned celebrities. All right. People think of it costly. 80% of NFL players, NBA players are bankrupt after 5 years of retirement. Almost all professional athletes, the vast majority are broke. When you spend $4.3 million for a house, and then it's foreclosed as it was on Allen Iverson, the NBA player. There are people out there with names that are known that are very affordable to be involved in. I represent a number of them who are in that position, and that's how I got him as a client. He owed $800,000 in debt when I took him on. And if he hadn't died unexpectedly in 2011, we had him down to about $100,000 in debt. He was making $150,000 to $200,000 a year. He would have been well into the $1 million a year range in 2012, based on things that we had going for him. So there are all of these niches. All right, because we have limited time, I want to cover some other things. All right, one of the points that we mentioned here, I only have 5 minutes left? Okay. Well, that was a lot shorter than I expected. So, let me cover a couple of points that I originally was going to ask as questions. All right, how do you compete against a better funded competitor? It gets back to that same point. Because so many people are mimic marketers, you look at how can you differentiate yourself from them. And in a way, I have a simple formula. I think wild and outside the box. I have on the back of my business cards what I call the 4 principles of marketing, of smart marketing. If you want a card, I'll give it to you afterwards. They are, be open to change because the odds are your competition isn't. Think big because you can trim a big idea down. You cannot do anything with a small idea. Think wild and outside the box because you won't come up with a really good big idea unless you're willing to let your mind open. But the last principle of smart marketing is the most important. Don't talk about it. Do it. Okay, all right. How do you improve customer service without spending money? Again, since I only have a few minutes left. One of the keys is like the handwritten note. It doesn't hurt to call a customer and say, hi, how are things going? Are you happy? Are you satisfied? Things that are not being done by the larger company. Also, a lesson I learned from him. When I took him on, he'd been my client for 5 days. We came up to New York. We had a meeting in Lower Manhattan. We're walking into this building. We're running a few minutes late. And some fans saw him. They came running over to get a picture taken, autograph taken. And I said, Joe, we got to go in. And I went to block him. He said, no, guys. We can be late for the meeting. I never insult a fan. He showed love and respect to his fans. They returned it again and again. How many of you, and how many of you both as customers and business people, express love and respect for your customers, love and respect for your vendors? But that puts you aside and up and above others who are out there. One of the frustrations I hear today, how many people make phone calls to people and you don't get a return call? And these are people you do business with. All right? That's ridiculous.
That's rude.
Courtesy is still a valuable marketing tool.
Come on.
I'm sorry, what?
Come on.
Yeah. Yeah. it's just, it makes simple. How do you become more creative? Everybody wants to be creative. And I go back to the points that I made earlier, so to sum it up, is you have to look at what everyone is doing in order to find out where the opportunity is. There's a lot of people who look at calamity and say, oh my God, I don't have enough money, the market is a recession, I don't know what I'm going to do. Well, Winston Churchill had a wonderful quote. An optimist is one who sees opportunity in calamity. A pessimist is one who sees calamity and opportunity. I think my time has just run out. I'm sorry that it was short, but I hope you got something out of it. If you want a business card, I'll put them up here.